Hello, this is Joshua Patrick Dudley here to do some commentary on our second short film, Bloodlines. Bloodlines was more of an experimental film for us, and it wasn't so much about a story and big production as it was an experiment for us to test out our stunt skills and our special effects skills. So here you see Kara Shields, and she's standing in front of a church, and what she's holding is actually an empty bottle, and she's going inside to collect holy water that you will see her use later in the short film when she throws it on my character's face and he burns because he's a vampire.
Then why aren't you answering me?
I'm thinking,
I don't normally play a lot of parts where I'm in a relationship with another character. I like to kind of do my own thing on screen if I'm going to write for myself, but this was too good for me to pass up, and it is funny to see me in a straight relationship.
Why are you
but
breaking up with me? Just tell me that. I think you owe me that.
I don't owe you shit.
I have been obsessed with Buffy the Vampire Slayer since I was in junior high, so I knew someday I wanted to do some sort of tribute, and I always wanted to be a vampire because sadly I couldn't be a Slayer because they are females. However, if you read the comic series, there is actually a male Slayer eventually, kind of.
Because if you don't, I'm gonna have to kill you.
But I thought this would be a cool way to kind of work in a new mythology to Buffy and bring it back to the horror universe. And so she's playing a character named Kendra, who is actually supposed to be the daughter of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and she's named after another Slayer who was killed off in season 2 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So not only was this short film an experiment in stunts and sound effects and special effects for us, but it was also an experiment to get Rachel a little more experience behind the camera. Rachel frequently helped me out on the other productions and would set up shots for me and help with special effects and stuff like that. But this was really the first time that she was completely in charge of the camera without me. So every shot you see was picked out by Rachel and designed by Rachel, and with very, very, very minimal input from me. I wanted to be really focused on what we were doing. So this was also filmed for our trifecta of terror, so it's set around Halloween time too.
Her name is Buffy.
And this is a stunt I always wanted to do from Buffy, where they throw something and they catch it, and it looks pretty good. So we get right into the fight. There's no music because we're again working with experimenting with the sound effects. So it's all just our audio from set and a whole bunch of horrible sound effects added in. But me and Kara really spent our time working through this and getting our asses kicked. We both got hurt a couple of times. It wasn't too bad, but like I said, it's a learning curve. And the makeup was probably actually the most painful thing we went through. That table was built out of styrofoam, if you can't tell, and that was another thing we were testing out. We had never really made prop furniture before, so it was kind of neat to try to build something. Though I wish they made brown styrofoam or something so that when it broke, it looked like wood. But like I said, the vampire makeup was probably the most painful thing because we kept, Rachel and I did it, and we did as much as we could, on our own, but I have contacts in too, and we kept getting stuff on the contacts, so my eyes were on fire. So through most of the short film, I actually can't see anything that I'm doing. So the choreography for this was made up as we went along too. We basically kind of pick 2 or 3 moves and then cut and figure out where we were going to go from there. So there was a lot of different sound effects in this too, like the vampire growls and like those, and the effects that I put on my voice. And again, these were all kind of throwbacks to Buffy. This is my old apartment and my old apartment building, so we got lucky that nobody really wanted to walk through at any point because me with the vampire makeup and her with all the arsenal of weapons. This is something, falling down the stairs is something me and my twin sister used to do when we were younger and fake fighting in our house. So I kind of have a lot of experience doing stunts, even though it's not actual experience. It's just kind of from playing. That was 3 different shots that were cut together, if you can't tell. But I think it came out pretty effective that it looked like she fucked me up and then slammed me into the floor. So the vampires on some of Buffy are just magical, and they just kind of appear on the other side of the character escaping from them. So that's kind of what I did here. Is it's almost like the Jason magical transportation. Here I am, caught up with you. Now this I wish we had rehearsed more and maybe discussed some of the camera angles more, because it was really, really hard to edit because it was all from the same angle or similar angles, so they're really, really bad cuts. But, you know, like I said, this whole thing was an experiment, and we filmed it in about 2 hours or 3 hours one night just to kind of knock it out, and that's not counting the special effects makeup. And then our buddy Shannon, who does a bunch of our 3D work and the titles, including the titles for this short film, did this little effect where she stakes me, and just like on the Buffy the Vampire Slayer show, I turn to dust. And you get to see the skeleton and stuff like that too, so it was really cool. He tried really hard to make it as close as he could to the actual Buffy effects. So yeah, that was Bloodlines. We talked about making a sequel for a little while, but we never actually did it. But that may be something that we explore somewhere in the future, because like I said, I really do love Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and the idea of getting to work on another either Buffy short film or continuing Kendra's storyline or something like that has a lot of appeal to me. So thank you guys again for watching, and stay tuned for more commentary on more of the short films.